Have you ever been driving your bus down the road and you glance up at your dashboard and you have no idea what you're looking at? Then this video is probably for you. In this video, we will break down what each dash light is and whether you should be concerned when they show up. Each of the lights on the dashboard of the bus fits into one of three categories: green, orange, and red. If a light is green, this means that the light is normal or not a big deal. You can keep driving and you don't need to report anything to dispatch. If the light is orange, this means that the light is something you should keep an eye on and may in some cases have to contact the dispatcher about. Pay attention to how your bus is driving and be prepared to report any changes. If the light is red, this means the light is serious. Stop your bus and contact the dispatcher immediately. We'll next go through each indicator on the dash, describe what it means, and find out which category it belongs in. First up is the left and right turn indicators. As the name implies, this indicates that the left or right turn signal is activated. When the hazards are on, both lights are activated. These lights are in the green category, so you won't need to contact the dispatcher about them unless they are not working. The check engine light indicates that the engine's computer has detected a serious problem. It may also be accompanied by an alarm. Stop the bus as soon as you can and contact dispatch if this light comes on. The stop engine light indicates that there is a very serious problem, like a fire, or another catastrophic engine condition that has been detected and the engine will shut down. The fire alarm bell will sound when a fire is detected. The electrical buzzer will sound when other critical shutdown conditions are detected. If there is a fire, you have 15 seconds from the time this light comes on to get the bus safely parked before the engine shuts off. If the bus decides to shut down for another reason, you have 30 seconds to get the bus safely parked. Side note, if there is a fire, evacuate the bus and notify dispatch by phone. Stop engine can be overridden using the stop engine override switch, located on the ignition panel. You should only use this switch if you are instructed to. The ramp light indicates that the wheelchair ramp power has been placed in the on position. Check to see if your ramp switch is set to on if your bus won't move, and this light is on. This is a green light, which means you don't need to notify dispatch about it unless your ramp is malfunctioning. The diesel exhaust fluid light indicates a problem with the diesel exhaust fluid system. This could be due to low fluid level or other issues. Alert dispatch if you see this light. The rear ignition light is mostly used by the mechanics. If you see this light pop up, which you shouldn't, let dispatch know. The high exhaust temp light indicates that the bus is regenerating. This is normal and okay. If you see this light come on, you don't need to report it to dispatch unless it is accompanied by a check engine light. The Regen Needed light indicates that your bus needs assistance regenerating itself. Notify dispatch if this light comes on. The low oil engine light will turn on when the bus's oil pressure drops too low and a buzzer will sound. Pull over as soon as you safely can, turn the engine off, and notify dispatch. The low coolant light indicates a dangerously low engine coolant level. Stop as soon as you safely can and notify dispatch if you see this light on your dash. The Coolant Temp light turns on momentarily and then turns off when the ignition is first turned on. If you see it on at any other time, it may indicate that the engine temperature is too high. Stop as soon as you safely can and notify dispatch. The Wait to Start light will come on as soon as you are preparing to turn on the engine. Wait until it turns off to press the ignition switch. You will not need to notify dispatch if you see this light. Stop request. If you see this light, it means that someone has pulled the cord and wants to get off at the next stop. Glance up at your indicator panel as you approach stops to see if someone has pulled the cord. The Antilock braking system light, or ABS light, indicates a problem with the ABS system. This lamp should come on briefly during startup and then turn off. If you see it at any other time, contact dispatch. The Retarder Applied light indicates that the retarder is in operation. If this light does not come on when slowing down, or if it remains lit during acceleration, dispatch should be notified. Speed switch. This light turns on when the bus slows to 3 miles per hour or below. The kneel light indicates that the bus has been knelt. You will not be able to move the bus until the bus has been returned to the normal ride height. The Fasten Seatbelt light will come on if the seatbelt is not buckled, or if you are not in the driver's seat. If you are not in the seat, the bus will not move. Always wear your safety belt. Retarder Disabled. This light indicates that the retarder has been switched off. Turn it back on using the switch or notify dispatch if you are having trouble locating the switch. The traction control light is normally off and will blink when the system is increasing traction because the bus is slipping. If you notice that you are sliding backwards, apply the brakes. If you notice that you are sliding sideways, countersteer, and if necessary, apply the brakes. The parking brake light turns on when the parking brake is applied. An alarm will sound if the parking brake is not applied prior to turning off the engine. Low air brakes. This light will turn on whenever the service brake pressure drops below 65 psi. Insufficient air pressure in the brake system may lead to brake failure. If driving, pull over as soon as possible. Put the transmission in neutral and apply the parking brake. Make sure fast idle is on and notify dispatch. The trans temp light indicates that the transmission fluid is overheated. Stop and park as soon as you safely can and contact the dispatcher. Starter. This light should only be on when the engine is starting or during the light test. If the light remains on after the engine start button is released, it may indicate a runaway starter motor. If this happens, turn the bus off and contact dispatch or a mechanic immediately. The high beams light indicates that the high beam headlights are on. Do not use high beams on the main campus or where there is traffic in opposing lanes, as they are blindingly bright. Never use high beams in fog. Use your left foot to shut them off. This button is between and above the left and right turn signals. The brakes light indicates that your service brakes are active, or when the interlock system is activated. The heated mirror light indicates that the heating elements in the mirror are on. The mirror heaters will turn off after a preset amount of time. Exit door. This light indicates that the rear door of the bus is open. The door alarm light warns the driver that someone or something may be caught in the rear door. Fast idle. This light turns on when the bus is stopped, the parking brake is engaged, the transmission is in neutral, and the fast idle engine switch is engaged. If this light is not on, turn the fast idle switch to on. The no charge light is activated when the alternator fails to charge, which means the bus will soon have dead batteries. Stop as soon as you safely can and notify dispatch. If this occurs when you are trying to start your bus, let the dispatcher know. Check 12V system. This light indicates a problem with the 12-volt electronic system. If this light stays on for more than a few seconds, stop as soon as you safely can and notify dispatch. The high voltage 24V system light indicates that there are issues with the 24-volt electrical system. If this occurs, stop as soon as you safely can and notify dispatch. The low voltage 24V system light indicates that less than 25% of charge remains in the batteries. Stop as soon as you safely can and notify dispatch. Low fluid hide. This light indicates a low fluid level in the hydraulic system. If this light turns on while the engine is running, immediately park the bus, shut down the engine, and contact dispatch. The low air front door light indicates that the air has been let out of your doors. Flip the air switch on your left to put the air back in. You will not need to notify dispatch unless this does not work. Aid passenger. This light means that an ADA passenger has requested a stop. It means that someone has pressed the stop requested button on the bottom of the priority seating. The Warning-Interlock Deactivated light warns that the interlock override switch, located in the overhead compartment, is in the override position, which means that the safety interlock system is turned off. If the safety interlock system is deactivated, the bus can move unexpectedly. Even when the rear doors are open, the ramp is deployed, the bus is kneeled, or you are out of your seat. This is extremely dangerous. Do not operate the bus with this indicator lamp on unless you have explicit direction to do so from dispatch. Warning: bus operation is much more dangerous with the interlock system deactivated. Always get permission from dispatch before touching the interlock override switch. Basically, never drive with your interlock disengaged. Bike rack deployed. CAM buses are not equipped with bike racks. If this light comes on, there may be an issue with your bus. Continue driving, but contact dispatch. The AC stop light indicates an air conditioning problem. If this light stays on, turn the air conditioning off and report the problem to dispatch. The low fuel light indicates that the fuel tank is less than 15% full. If you see this light, notify dispatch. The check trans light turns on when the transmission's computer detects a serious problem. If this light turns on and stays on while driving, park the bus as soon as you safely can and contact dispatch. Comm fault. This light indicates a communication problem that exists between the modules that control various functions on the bus, such as doors, signal lights, etc. If this light comes on and stays on, Park as soon as you safely can and contact dispatch. Fire. This light indicates that dangerous temperatures have been detected in the engine compartment. This light is accompanied by an alarm bell. Once these happen, the engine shutdown sequence begins. The engine will shut down automatically 15 seconds after fire conditions have been detected. The stop engine override switch may be used to delay the shutdown sequence for another 15 seconds. If this occurs, stop as soon as you can and contact dispatch immediately.